Hey y'all, grown black folks talk. On the climb. Climb out of the noise and enjoy the view. I'm up on my high seat at Dubose and Buena Vista East today, but from the other side. When I get back to the bottom of the hill, I would have gone around it. This is the third time I've gone all the way around. And I have figured out how to stage this so that I don't actually hurt myself. This is the first time I've done it without actually pulling something, because I figured out how I have to actually do it. And what I'm hoping to do, having done it last week, having done it this week, is to make this into once a week and then into twice a week that I make my way around this hill. I want to turn it into a regular feature of my walk. 2 to 3 times a week would be the ideal, although I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, okay, Blue Angels, I thought that y'all were done, but they may be doing flyovers to stuff. I don't know what's going on out here. But I want to make this a regular feature. I mean, it's a nice, it really is enough exercise for a whole day. I want to make it a feature. But there's another reason I came up here today. I was in mind of the fig tree and the biggest, blackest blackberries. Oh my gosh. And the figs that are in this park. Now, that fig's in Golden Gate Park too. And I get different species, but they're there, and I get them out of there. And if I keep moving around, there's still figs and there's still blackberries and other things in Golden Gate Park too that are to be enjoyed. But the point that I'm making is that after yesterday's experiences, which I shared in the story time, that was another reason I came up. I started out earlier today, but still not as early as I wanted to because I had other family affairs I had to take care of before being able to head out. And I knew that if I made my effort to climb out of the common way, I wouldn't have the common experience. It is a sad situation. When your people have come a whole 157 years from slavery, and the day comes when white men acknowledge your presence as a human being more than black men do. And I didn't want to have that experience again today. Although, again, there's no guarantee those particular gentlemen lost in their addictions and they're not being able to walk around a statue to find one another would be there today. But I get spoken to and treated like a human being when I do my harder walks. And you would think, given the racial history of the United States, that I would be much less welcomed up here. But that's actually not the case. See, here's the interesting thing about it. Now, I'm sure there are some cities and there are some places in the world in which you could walk into a new neighborhood and really be in trouble. There are a few places like that in San Francisco as well. But this is what I have discovered. In life, sometimes showing up with the element of surprise. Up here, everybody knows why I'm up here. They assume I'm not going to stay here, of course. But everybody knows I'm up here getting some exercise. And the fact that I can get around this hill means that everybody I meet gives me the respect of doing what I need to do, which is difficult, for my well-being. Everybody gives you that kind of respect. The other thing about it is, okay, she's not who we expected, but she is on our level. She is someone who has the same basic physical ability that we do. Now, do I look like someone who lives on this hill that walks up and down all around it every day? No. I look at people carrying their groceries up from one of my local stores, or any 2 or any 5. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not at that level yet. It just is what it is. But the thing is, people have respect for you. And generally, because my neighborhood does well for itself. This one is still up by about an order of maybe 1.5, maybe 2. The other thing is, the people up here are not, as Dr. Martin Luther King put it so picturesquely, they are not still struggling with the sense of their own essential somebodyness, as he said it so well. A man who is not certain that he is somebody is not going to be certain that any woman he deals with is somebody. The fact that Jesse Jackson, as late as 1980 and 1990, was still talking about I am somebody, always scared me, even as a child. Because I've always felt like, wait, how do you not know who you... Now, at 41, I'm like, oh, I understand. Because if at this late date many black men are still not sure that they are somebody, there's no possible way that if black women begin to develop a little bit more, that this is going to work out for us. There's no possible way. And sometimes you see it in stark relief. Because it's the difference between getting basic respect and not getting basic respect. That's the difference between climbing out of the common, climbing out of the noise, and climbing up here. That's the difference between getting out of the house early in the morning and waiting till the casuals show up. But see, here's the thing. I have the skill and the ability to be able to do comparison and contrast day over day. Having built that benefits me because it confirms. Like I said, I've been listening to what black women have been saying. It's hard for me to go through this particular realization because, again, my father, my uncles, my grandfathers were not men of this type. In my father's day, in my grandfather's day, and even in men of my mother's generation, about at least half of them, black people speak to each other because we have a recognition of a shared unique experience, a shared sense of we are going to honor each other if nobody else does. All that is gone, and I have accepted it. So as the Bible says, one has to now sojourn where you have to sojourn. Sojourner Truth was right. This is a beautiful day in San Francisco. About 82 degrees. Makes it easier to climb hills actually when it's warm because your muscles don't stiffen up, which is why I got to kind of get into the habit before it cools down too much. This is not going to be easy to do at 55. I have to come up even slower than today because the muscles be trying to pull up. Especially, this probably will not be done at a beautiful clear day at 45, which is very rare in San Francisco. It would be interesting to see that. It would be interesting to do this after a rainy day too and see what that's like as the things evaporate. But having developed the skills and ability to be able to get up to and around big hills, next stop, back to the top. Did that in February. I might try to do it again before the end of the year. We'll see. February kind of corresponds with November, so we'll see what happens. But just being able to climb above the common. I wish I could tell you what this hill smells like today. There's still some fruit on the hill. There's figs. There's probably a lot more up here too. There's conifers. There's plants that think it's springtime and are reblooming. I wish I could tell you what it smells like up here today. I wish I could describe to you how different it is. Now, Golden Gate Park smells wonderful. Don't get me wrong. There's roses, a lot of roses still blooming up here. Some star jasmines are still blooming. Some freesias are blooming somewhere, even though it's not spring. Just a wonderful, clear air odor. And to be able to sit somewhere after having climbed around. Now, I still got to get to the bottom. I'm not quite home. But I just wanted to share that. There are multiple reasons to develop your skills and your ability. Look, hiking poles. Stop acting a fool. There are many reasons. Since you're not gonna mess around, so you don't have to find out. There are many other things you can do with your time and ability, and one of them is to develop the skills and ability to climb out of the common, to climb above the noise, and to find yourself where you need to be. All right, y'all have a good day now. Goodbye.